because I'm guilty, Einstein, because it's not that hard to figure out. My mother died under suspicious circumstances, and I'm the closest relative. According to all the police shows, the person closest to the deceased is usually the culprit, right? Well, not this time. I didn't kill her. I can't say I'm sorry to see her go, but I didn't kill her. That sounds harsh and hateful, doesn't it? That's only because you don't know the whole story. You're basing your opinion on the belief that my mother was a sweet old lady, and you couldn't be more mistaken. So before you judge me, sit back and I'll tell you how she really was. My father took off while my mother was still pregnant with me. He went out for a pack of cigarettes and didn't come back. And I never heard the end of it. I spent my whole childhood believing I'd ruined my mother's life. Her chance for a family and love and happiness. And if I forgot for even a moment, she was only too happy to remind me. I hate you. You're ugly, you're stupid. I wish you'd never been born. If abortions had been legal then, I'd have had one. Your dad doesn't love you. That's why he left. I don't love you, I just got stuck with you. No one loves you. No one's ever going to love you. I heard that almost every day of my life. If she had a bad day at work or got dumped by yet another man or just needed a little lift. You know, that sense of power that comes from knowing someone else actually feels worse about themselves than you feel about yourself. Nothing I did was ever good enough. If I brought home an A instead of an A+, she would beat me. And if I got an A+, she'd be mad because my grade card didn't acknowledge her part in my academic success. I used to daydream that my dad would show up one day and take me away to live with him. Or I'd find out that I was adopted and was being given back to my real parents. But those were just the daydreams of a very sad, very lonely little girl. Truth is, I was never really afraid of my mother. I was afraid she was right. About me, I mean. I certainly never saw anything that proved her wrong. I mean, my own parents didn't love me. Why would anyone else? So it should come as no surprise that I spent most of my life believing I was an unloved and unlovable person who would never be good enough for anyone. It took the first 30 years of my life for me to finally accept that my mother was a cruel, abusive bitch who really didn't love me and never would. That her unhappiness was her fault, not mine. Eventually, once I'd grown up, I discovered myself and was truly happy for the first time in my life when she had a stroke. It didn't kill her, but she needed help with everything. Eating, bathing, even going to the bathroom. So I left my career, my boyfriend, and all of my friends to go take care of her. But I didn't do it for her. I did it for me. I wanted to prove that I was nothing like her or the things she said about me. those last 6 months of her life was the only time she ever seemed to appreciate me or see that I had any worth at all. Sometimes I'd catch her staring at me like she couldn't believe all that I was doing for her or why. It didn't matter that she didn't understand. I did. And so did God. And that's all that really mattered. She just died, Detective. I didn't kill her. No one did. She was a sick, unhealthy old lady who died sad because she thought she failed at life. And in a way, she did. Don't you see? Death took her last chance to get it right. It also took our last chance to have a real relationship. Oh, of course, I'll stay here. Now that she's gone, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to go.